Hi, welcome to Growing Dreams Homestead. I'm Dana and it is March 25th, so we are about a month and a half away from our last frost. But this week is an awesome week because on Friday I will be planting potatoes. So Friday is Good Friday and I always plant potatoes on that day. So we are down in the garden and as you can see I have not prepped my garden at all. First thing I need to do is burn this pile of garden waste from last year and then start raking out where my beds are going to be. There is a little bit of weeds coming up, so I'll get those dug up and thrown to the chickens, and it's just going to be an awesome day working in the garden. It's supposed to be 62 today, which sounds amazing. It's a little chilly right now, but I'm sure I will get warmed up working on this garden. So I thought I would bring you along to prep the garden for planting. So our fire is done burning and I've been working over here in the front part of the garden and I'm going to show you that in just a sec. So my garden is kind of a modified back to Eden, no dig style garden. I bring in compost and wood chips every year. So far this morning I got probably about maybe a quarter of this side of the garden done. I have raked off the wood chips that were left from last year into the center pathway, and then I've just been going through and pulling any perennial weeds that are coming up. I feel like it's easier to see them when I rake off the wood chips, and they'll just go to the center path, and then I'll add new wood chips on top of that and on the paths between my beds. So let's check out what I've done so far. Alright, so here's where I rake the wood chips into the center, and then here's everything I have raked and pulled weeds, and then you can see kind of where I stopped. So I mean, it's a good little bit. There's a lot of weeds in there, but not too bad really. The chickens were in here most of the winter, so they did a really good job. They've been kicked out for about a month, so I'm just gonna keep working, and then after I'm probably gonna start over here next and just get the front part of the garden ready because the potatoes will be going in up here on Friday, and see how much I can get done. This raked off. It was not nearly as bad as the other side with weeds, but there are some weeds in here, so I'm gonna get busy digging those up, and then I'm just throwing them in a little bucket and throwing them to the chickens. They're enjoying that. So get this done and I'll have a good part of the garden cleaned out, so that's exciting. So I got this side of the garden all weeded, and I have a bucket of weeds for the chickens, and I just want to show you how rich this soil is. This will be our third summer in this garden space, and every year we add compost and wood chips, and then in the winter we let the chickens come in here and fertilize and till, lightly, and it looks so good. This is a no-till garden. We do dig some, like I'll use like a potato fork when we put the potatoes in and things like that, but it's mostly no-till, and we just layer on, all the good stuff. So really happy with how things are looking. I'm gonna feed these to the chickens, and I think I'm gonna go eat some lunch and change because it's starting to get hot. Yeah, so we'll be back in a minute. Got about half the garden done. Just got a little bit more weeds on the side. Took a little break. I raked up this big area where the chickens had been, and there's a lot of sticks and branches and wood chips and things, so I'm burning it off. It's a little windy. Of course the wind picked up as soon as I started burning this stuff, but it's pretty controlled, so I think we're fine. After this goes out and rests a couple days, I will shovel it up and then put it in the chicken coop for them to dust bath in the ash. It's really good for them, and what doesn't go in the chicken coop will go in the garden. So I'll show you my little burn I got going on. So you can see where the chicken fence was is where the grass starts. That's as far as they could get. Of course, they scratched everything else up, and then I raked up everything into some long piles and got a little slow burn going. Turn this stuff into charcoal and ash, so it'll be good for the chickens and the garden. So the fire's almost out. And stop in the greenhouse, take a look at that, and then I'm gonna get back to work in the garden. There's a kitty sleeping in here. Alright, so everything is looking so good. Hey Mouser, you sleeping, buddy? I need to come down and cut some broccoli. Look at all this broccoli. It's amazing. The onions are looking good. The kale's picking back up. Carrot, garlic, cilantro is getting green again. Some cabbage. That was a snapdragon. I don't know if it's gonna, I think it's coming back. Look down there at the bottom. Yep, it's got some growth. I might cut off those big long stalks. And then my sage, which I think I'm gonna have to move that out of here because it's just getting way too big. It's almost 80 in here, 62 outside. It's a gorgeous day. So I'm on spring break this week, and I'm gonna try to get a lot of stuff done. Hopefully the weather cooperates. Friday will be potato planting day. Easter is Sunday. I have some sourdough orders for Saturday to get working on Friday night, and yeah, it's just gonna be a good week. And hopefully I get a lot done. So I'm gonna get back to work in the garden. I'll give you one last look at that before we sign off. Okay, so you can see how much I got done. It's about halfway. I still got a little bit more weeds to do on this side. I got all the wood chips raked in the middle, and then the back half still yet to do. So looking good so far. Alright, so sitting in my garden chair, got the garden raked and weeded halfway, got my piles burnt, they're burning out, chickens are dust bathing in all the weeds and dirt I gave them, they're all happy. So I think I'm gonna call it on this one. So thanks for hanging out with me, hope you're enjoying this beautiful day, and I will see you soon. Bye.